Hello, God bless you. This one, I watched something the other week which just pissed me off. So hopefully I remember enough of it and the correct information to get this right. So there's this art project in South Africa by some guy named Dean the Dipwad, who his art project is F white people. And they've taken it to court, and the court down in South Africa is like, that's not hate speech, really, because if I said F niggers, somehow I'd think that would be hate speech. Or F the slanty eyes, that would be hate speech. For some reason, when you hate white people, it's okie dokie. And let me tell you, it's not okay, no matter what the law says. Hating on me isn't cool, whether I'm homeless or not. So, yeah, I just find it ridiculous, all the hate towards white people. We've done so many beautiful things. There's no reason to be hating on us. I mean, we're the one society on both sides of the continent or the ocean that has stopped slavery. Africa, they sure the hell hasn't stopped slavery. They're still enslaving each other. The Middle East, they still enslave each other. Asians, they still enslave each other. Why don't you gripe about people who enslave people? Why are you still griping about the white people who stopped slavery? And let me tell you what. Because then there's like this thing about how, oh my gosh, seriously? How to save the world. You must stop having children. Save the world. And you know, it's really, they've actually found that people with more education has less children. It's actually more, how would you say? A more successful way to depopulize is to like educate the men and women than like birth control and stuff. And there was even, what was it, the French president was just like, you know, women need to stop having so many children. Yo, numbnut, it takes two to have kids. Why the hell aren't you talking to the men? Why isn't there something, A, done about men because they're so damn horny, and two, why are you putting it all on women? Because, you know, we can only do so much. We've got the proof, but, you know, we probably didn't initiate it, and we can only do so much, man. And, I mean, we can only have one kid at a time. I mean, men can, like, you know, have bunches of women pregnant at one time. But anywho, I know, and what is it? That one guy from the president from Turkey, he wants to overtake Europe by having all Muslim women have 5 children. Why is it like nasty? And this like thing about, you know, stop having white kids, it appeared because they were I know they went through 10 Canadian books, school books, and how they couldn't believe, you know, they weren't telling kids not to have children. One, we're not overpopulated. I know there's a few cities that have lots of people and they haven't designed cities well. And two, I know there's lots of crap about food, but I grew up in a very food-oriented area in America. There's a lot of food-oriented places. And let me tell you something, they are paying farmers not to plant. And then when they get a bumper crop, instead of selling it, instead of preserving it for when we don't get a bumper crop, they force the farmers to throw the food out. We're not short of food. If dumbasses would get their noses out of, like, you know, they're trying to destroy us. Seriously. We're not, there's, like, have you ever driven America? There's lots of spaces. You know, and if we had taxes coming in from everyone, because there's a lot of people we don't, which it was so, I was just stunned. I was recently in the middle of nowhere, and I was listening to the radio, and they had this thing where even there, I was shocked, of all places, they were talking about Muslims, they were like just bringing them into this certain section of America, and how we need them, and then they're talking about the lie of, oh, just because they move in, they don't have to become us, and we don't have to become them. That's a lie. Study Islam. They are commanded to lie to you, and they are commanded to take over the entire world. And you either submit to them, or they are commanded to terrorize you and just terrorize you and kill you. It's really alarming that I don't know if it's the absolute ignorance or the absolute just deceit. You cannot have Muslims move in and say that everything's going to be hunky-dory. And they're trying to tell these people in this section of America that You need the Muslims. You need the Muslims. You know what? And then they say that they're all, while they have jobs, they're all like $20,000 a year or less. Well, if you're $20,000 a year or less, well, then you're on programs that are being upheld by taxpayers. So no, they're not adding anything to the culture whatsoever. And I'd love to know how we're supposed to, especially white people, my white brothers and sisters out there, we're not supposed to have children because we're polluting the world. But everyone else can. And you know, if we were having kids, and I just read something like women my age, you have upwards of like I think it was something like pushing 40 or 50% chance of never having kids. You know, if we were having kids, and if there was such a thing as a family unit still, we wouldn't have to have all these foreigners moving in to save us. And they're not saving us because they're doing low-level jobs and being on all our systems. And when they're coming in and, you know, wanting to blow us up and calling us the white demon that needs to be destroyed, that's not going to help us in the end. In fact, I think there should be a program to protect white people. You heard me. I think because there's no one more diverse than a white person. White people are beautiful, and many, I'm not saying others aren't, but I'm saying you cannot get more unique than a white person. You cannot get more colored. And I'd love to know why everyone, like you have whites and then you have the colored, and they're all like buddies because they're not whites. What? And I don't know why they're called coloreds. Do you? Can you imagine? I mean, if you're a white person, can you imagine if you were not white? Oh, we're going to have a kid. Oh, I wonder what he's going to look like. Brown skin, brown eyes, brown black hair. I mean, they're really not diverse whatsoever. You get out of white and don't even be going me like, oh, I know a black and they have blue eyes, or I know this person and they have this and that. They only have black or blue eyes or blonde hair because they've been mixed with white. You only find the diversity in color in the white people. I really think there should be this thing to protect the white like gene population where, you know, how could you say, if you give birth to a whole white, you know, a solid white person, you know, you get, you know, so much tax write-off or whatever, or you get a bonus of like, hey, have a kid, get $10,000, have the dad part of the life living with you. So you're like an actual family unit. Hey, get $20,000. Have the baby when you're sober and it's not a drug baby. Add another $10,000, man. But seriously, I mean, if you're a white and if you're not a white, have you ever thought what it's like to be a white when you get pregnant? It's like, what is this kid going to look like? You don't know. I mean, we have like our skin color is a huge range. I mean, from almost albino white from the north to like really dark if you're from the south. And my family isn't even from the south, and we have a ton of brown in our skin, so which is fun. And because it's just, I know I was hanging out with some gal and she's not white and she was freaking out. She's like, oh my gosh, you're like changing colors on me. I'm like, yeah, I'm a white person, that's what we do. But yeah, our hair can be straight or curly or wavy. We can have all sorts of different color hair, and it can be all mixed up. Blonde, red, brown, black. And then when you get older, you can throw gray in there. I mean, nobody else has a diversity. We do. We should really be a protected class. We are an endangered species. We truly are. I mean, between the left telling us to die and not to procreate, and everyone else trying to, like, you know, wash our genes out by mixing us with everyone else. So yeah, there should really be a program to protect the white gene population, and we should get money for having babies. So, and then that would like help with everything, because there would be a whole new workforce in, like, you know, people to keep the world going, and we need people. And I really, you know, do you ever get sick of all the crap from the left? Oh, everything's dying. The plants live off of carbon, and cars make carbon. How are you killing the world if you drive a car? And how are you saving it if you ride a bicycle? I mean, if these people on bicyclists would just ride a bike in their regular clothes and have a nice big basket so you could see that they were like actually doing stuff and making trips. But they never are. They'll take their car, drive it out to the coast, take the shade spot, and then disappear for a couple hours, wrecking traffic because, it's really busy in LA and everywhere else. And then they're just like, hey, I was just on a road recently. These idiots. It was a country 2-lane curvy road. And these bicyclists just decided to stop and chit-chat in the middle of the road. So I come across this curve and boom! All of a sudden they're like these people. I was like, oh my gosh, what the hell are you thinking? But I find them very problematic. And then they have their whole new outfits, their spandex padded ass outfits, which is just alarming. But yeah. So, they buy special clothes, and they have to do special things to put the rack on the car, and then they go places they normally wouldn't go. They're not doing errands ever. You're not saving the world. Stop lying to me. Do you believe your lies? Because I don't. So, yeah. But those are some thoughts. So, white people don't suck, and it's very offensive when you, curse us out and want death on us, especially with all the beautiful things we've done. And, yeah, why didn't you talk crap about your own people? So, and it's just alarming, because this Dean guy is a white guy. There's so much self-hatred within the white community. It's really highly alarming. Dean, God bless you with healing. Very nasty. For all those people who stood up against him and took it to court, God bless you and thank you, because that is hate. If the court, sadly, is promoting hatred and lies and degradation against white people, and that's really, really wrong. So for everyone who stands up and speaks the truth and someone lies and you have the balls to say, hey, that's a lie, piss off, 2 thumbs up. Anywho, but it sucks. Capitalism is a beautiful thing. It's America that everyone's beating their door or selling their self for and trying to get into America and Western civilizations that were all white Christian founded. No one's hankering to get in North Korea now, are they? Why don't you go piss on Kim Jong-un? Why is there so much hate? And Trump is beautiful. And for all you pretend Republicans that are like, ew, we gotta get Trump out. How dare you? I didn't get your butt out of your head. Your head out of your butt, too. I'm dyslexic. And I'm in a ton of pain right now, so. Anywho, mainly I'm dyslexic, so. But the pain is not helping. But yeah, Trump won for a reason. Good reason. Because he cares about America, unlike a lot of you politicians. And you left need to just shut up about Trump and impeaching him. He's doing nothing but doing good things. So, leave him alone and let him get to work. And oh my gosh, for the love of God, would you stop talking about Russia? Are we in the 50s? I'm so tired of all this Russia crap. Russia, the sky is falling. Russia. What decade are you in? What millennial are you in? Oh my gosh. Seriously? What is it? Birth control causes brain damage. And, it's getting into the system, all the estrogen. And then guys are getting it. And I really think it's very damaging. And I find it very interesting. I was at a talk, not quite a convention, but a health talk several years ago, and they said there was a drastic spike in dementia, Alzheimer's, and they're just like, we don't know why. It's really, this is the first generation of women who are on birth control. Really? You don't know why? It's alarming. Anyway, God bless white people. May God protect us from all the people who want to kill us. And God bless the rest of you, because we're all children of God. So it doesn't give you the right to come live here. I know, what was it, McCain? Mexicans are children of God too. You're not a preacher. You're a president. And God put nations and governments in power. So we're supposed to respect certain things. So, don't be confusing being a child of God with your citizenship. Stay in your country. And if you want to come here, come over here legally. No one's saying not come over, just come over legally. See you later.